this. I saw Ozzy's video today. It's very inspiring. You know, we are the future. You know, and so I just want to talk about my feelings about things. You know, regarding this. You know, my observations and everything. And what I notice is there's this kind of like a big major division, if you want, between people who, I don't know what you would call yourselves, like anarcho-primitivists, ish-tubers, whatever, who want to quote-unquote dismantle civilization, which means also like giving up on technology as such, right? And the other group, if you like, to simplify it, is people who are open to the idea of free energy, which, as they argue, if it became publicly known about, would threaten the monopoly of the oligarchy, you know, the main power structure who kind of like controls everything through oil and currency, you know, and things like that. Now, you know, like before 9/11, I was caught up for a few months in about the disclosure project, you know, where people with certain so-called insiders were talking about secret advanced weaponry, you know, secret advanced technology and weaponry. And involved in this is free energy, you know what I mean? And not only them, but you've got like other people who are talking about it and see it as some kind of hope, right? But whenever I've tried to talk about it with people who want to dismantle civilization, there's no debate, and there's kind of like what I feel like is a taboo about even going there and talking about it, which kind of like irritates me and frustrates me, because I believe things are so serious, you know, or well, there's no war about it, you know, things are quite serious for the world, you know, the species and everything like that, that the last thing we should do is not want to talk about things, no matter how controversial, you know, the differences of opinion or whatever, you know. You've got to talk about things. It's like when you've got all kinds of bad shit going on, you know, you've got terrorism going on in the world, war and everything like that, and at the end of the day people have to talk about differences of opinion, about all kinds of things. So everybody has like their own opinion, but if you kind of like just keep to that opinion and don't want to talk about other things, well, to me that isn't going to get anywhere. And I just read one of the comments, video by Oz, where a guy says the problem is the solution, right? So I've also dropped a comment asking him if he'll go in depth about what it means, because obviously I've heard about that a lot in permaculture, and it's usually related to things that are usually seen as a problem in the land, you know, like weeds, kind of things that are usually seen as a problem by the jaded eye that wants like order, you know, that type. But by looking at it in a different way, you see it's a solution. So I'm wanting to know how that saying applies to this, you know, that we're looking at say technology as the problem, right? But is it the way it's being used that's the problem? I mean, we've all been on this long journey, you know, like the human race and everything, which includes the animals, because the animals are deeply affected by all this, you know. It's not just humans, of course. So what does this mean? What does this mean, this novelty, this it's kind of like weeds, if you like, because these ideas, like, they're like prolific, you know, they're growing all the time, you know. It's like invention, wonderment, and applying it, and this is how technology comes about, right? And if you simply deny that, or you want to pull the weeds out, as it were, that to me is not looking at the problem is a solution. Now I may be wrong, right? But the whole point of me, if you like, is wanting to ask questions. And when people are like wary of asking questions, and they don't even want to go there and talk about it, to me that is not looking at things deeply enough. You know, you have to be willing to ask questions, even if they might disturb you, especially in the situation we're in, because there's, you know, there's no place now for going into a corner and hiding, you know, because like we're in the world together, we're in the world with all types of people together. You know, people could argue that looking to free energy is idealistic romanticism, but you could also argue that looking to a world where all of a sudden there's no technology is also idealism, right? But what does it mean to include both sides, you know, to look at boundaries as being kind of like permeable, you know? That's another thing in permaculture, you know, they always say the boundary between, you know, one part of the land with another part is the most powerful, you know, it's the most productive or whatever. So I'm really wanting to explore all this and stop with this not wanting to discuss shit, you know what I mean? Because like, even if it is difficult, it's just very, very interesting, you know. So I hope that this project, as it's putting through, will allow, you know, a place for this to be discussed.